Welcome to this topic focused on intellectual property and keeping records, specially created for our Administrative Assistant Certification Program. In this video, we will cover why to keep proper records, filing systems to use for digital and paper, organizing computer files and how to back them up, using more than one computer, cloud computing services and storage providers, and what is intellectual property and how to protect it. Being aware of best practices concerning intellectual property and record keeping is an important part of the job of an administrative assistant and executive assistant, so let's get started. Why keep proper records? For most executive assistants today, keeping records and a filing system are important tasks and responsibilities. Retrieving documents are part of the job in many cases. Many organizations today store documents on computers in shared drives. Some organizations store paper in the form of files or central repositories. As an executive assistant, you should be aware of these different options. Filing systems to use for digital and for paper. Let's look now at some of the options that are typical in organizations today. Some basic options for organizing files are alphabetical, geographical, numeric, and subject. Organizing alphabetically is the most common way to set up a filing system. Organizing computer files and how to back them up. As an administrative or executive assistant, they will typically create and work with many documents on a daily basis. Many of these will be in electronic format that you can store on a computer in an organized way, as we discussed. Saving files in named folders in a Windows or Apple operating system are one way to organize files. When naming files, make sure to use a consistent method. When storing, you could place all in one type of file together. For example, you could store PowerPoint files separate from Word files, or store them by topic, etc. If you're working on an Apple device, you can also create folders to store and sort your projects as well. However you decide to store and sort your files, make sure to back up your files. If you store all your files in a folder, you can back them up by copying a folder to another drive, a network drive, a flash drive, a CD, or a DVD if you want. If you want to automate the backup in Windows, you can use the Start, then go to Control Panel, go to System and Security, and then back up your computer path. If you are using an Apple computer, you can also create backups using a program such as Time Machine. There are services that can automate this process, but it will depend on the company and the business. Either way, make sure that there is a process in place to back up the files and make it part of your monthly schedule to get it done. Using more than one computer. If you work on more than one computer, consider using a folder you can copy back and forth using a flash drive. Another approach is to add dates and versions to your files. That way, when you copy a file form from one computer to another, you know what is the latest version. Another approach is to store your files on removable storage such as a flash drive or CD. If you go this route, you can also keep a backup on one or more permanent mediums such as a network drive, a hard drive, or cloud service such as a SkyDrive. If you lose your flash drive, you have the files in another location. Cloud computing services and storage providers. Cloud computing services can be a good option for many businesses, especially smaller businesses that do not have a large network and shared services and a large IT department. With cloud computing services, a company does not need to keep their own file servers, storage systems, software, and even email servers. Companies also have the ability to access information anytime and anywhere through a browser. What is intellectual property and how to protect it? An administrative assistant should be aware of the concept of intellectual property so they can help an organization protect this important organizational asset. When we refer to intellectual property, we mean anything that comes from the work of the mind or intellect, such as an idea, an invention, or a process. Intellectual property can also refer to related registrations, rights, and applications. It can also refer to patents, literary and artistic works, designs, and names and images used in the business world. As an administrative or executive assistant, you can help your organization to protect these assets that include things such as trademarks, copyrights, and trade secrets. Now, here are some other issues to consider. Violation or infringement of intellectual property rights can be a breach of law. Counterfeit works are a billion-dollar industry worldwide. Patent infringement can come when selling a patented invention or use without the permission of the patent holder. Copyright infringement can happen when reproducing a word or work without permission from the copyright holder. Trademark infringement can happen with the unauthorized use of a trademark, and this is with a similar or identical to another trademark. We have just given a glimpse into this important topic of intellectual property, and you will likely throughout your career deal with many of these related issues. In summary, we have now looked briefly at issues related to keeping records and intellectual property protection, and covered topics such as why keep proper records, filing systems to use for digital and paper systems, organizing computer files and how to back them up, using more than one computer, cloud computing services and storage providers, and what is intellectual property and how to protect it. We hope that you found the information of value and wish you the best in your future endeavors as an administrative assistant or executive assistant. Thank you once again.